for your coating. Now that is a elastomeric coating, all right? And what it does is it will reflect the sun, keep your roof cooler, save you on your electric bill. Their claim to fame is $4,800 a year in savings and cooling costs. I'll show you that in just a second, but first I'm going to show you what I'm doing to prep this before I go and I spread it on the roof. All right, so no further ado, let's do this. All right, okay, I'm taking the paintbrush, all right, and then I'm taking these joints and I'm filling them in, okay, this way. All right, and I'm pushing it in under that edge. All right, so that's going to enforce, it's like adding extra glue into that joint to help hold it. I'm not going to rely on the topping, just kind of next to it to hold that joint in place, hold this roll roofing down. All right, now this has been here for about 15 years or so, and it's still in really great shape. But rather than redoing it, I'm going to add life to it by coating it. All right, I don't like the way that joint's looking. I went more under there. Okay, so this would be my second coat. All right, so I'm just going around filling this in, then just taking it and laying it off, pressing it in there and smoothing it out. All right, then we'll go over here to the edge and just carry this all the way out. All right, we'll just carry that out. Okay, that's the top done. Okay, now this edge, this is a rubberized roofing coating. Okay, now it does not flow like paint at all. So I'll show you how you approach the edge here, and you can see I've done the edges. All right. Okay, now I got to continue there. So what we'll do is we'll take our bucket. Now this is Home Improvement Tips, aka Easy 2 Tips and Tricks, my old channel name, where you see everything up close and personal. All right, now I'm going to come back with the roller, paint roller, which I will show you, with a 3/4 inch nap. Okay, but you also see I'm catching it. See that? All right, that was free music. All right, see, I'm catching it in reverse and I'm brushing it back. Okay, and this does not spread like paint at all. All right, and then you want to brush it in. It has a tendency to want to kind of bubble after it sits for a few minutes. And so you want to get your stance as far apart as you can. And then come in here, dip your bucket, catch it, load your brush up. Just lay it on there, right? And then catch it, get that outer edge. Okay. Because I'm going to come back over this, get a second layer coating with the roller, okay? But this way, if you don't do this, and if you try to do this with your roller only, that roller's going to push this coating over the edge and run all over your fascia, and you'll be very upset. All right, or somebody's doing this for you. Make sure they cut it in first, like I'm doing. All right, I just went over the bubbling. I didn't even say it. I didn't even mention it because I was talking. Okay, so I'm going to do another section, and I'll show you the bubbling. Well, thank you everyone for being here. Oh, I thought I had this in horizontal, but I don't. All right, again, I got this loaded up on my brush, all right? Remember, this is not paint, this is rubber, a liquid rubber. All right. Okay. This will bubble and separate. I say bubble, I mean it'll start separating. Okay, because it's little air pockets from the roofing sand that's on the roof. All right, that's what this basically is. It's like sand down here that's on top of the roof. Okay, and then I'll come back and I'll catch it with my finger. All right, now normally I have on a glove. At the present time I had to take it off for the video. You got these gloves on. All right. So now you can see some of the air bubbles starting to form. Okay, in here. All right, I'm not sure if you can see them or not. Like right here. Okay, you see those spacing? That's the air bubbles pockets that develop. All right, and then just kind of come back, smooth it out, and keep trucking. Now that we've covered this, all right, I'll show you some more. All right, I've prepped all these joints. I haven't got to this yet. Here I put a coat on this yesterday. Okay. Then all along here. All right. I did a buildup in this area here because it had a low spot and it was holding water. So I took some shingles and I layered this rubber coating on the front, the back, stacked one on top, did the same, then went over it and built that up there. Okay. And this is the roller I'm using. 3/4 inch snap is okay. 5/8. I believe this is 5/8. I did mention 3/4. 5/8 works really well. And you can rinse this out with water when you're done, just like you would a paintbrush, and you can reuse it. Okay. I put this down and it rained that night and it rinsed a lot of it off. And so yesterday I went through and I redid the edge, as you can see here. Hey girl, there's my mascot. Yeah, there's my mascot. All right. So this is where I've redone it in here. All right, so I'm gonna have to completely redo this because the rain rinsed off a whole lot of the coating because it wasn't completely dried when it started raining that night after. Okay, nice sunny day today. That's good. I do find if you have working in the sun, this has a tendency to get a buildup here in the edges. So you want to wipe them down constantly and clean this as it drops. All right, you just kind of want to wipe this out. You can see all this heavy layering here, and that's what you don't want. Okay. All right, so that's what you don't want. Okay. The next thing is you can either take this topping, roof coating, and you can kind of pour it in spots, just kind of scatter it, and then start rolling and spread it out. That's the fastest way to go, although you end up using more of this coating when you do that, which doesn't hurt, except you're going to end up buying another 2, maybe 3 buckets possibly. All right. Now this is 1,200 square foot of roof right here. Let me go back to this end and I'll show you what that looks like. This is up 14 feet out by almost 100 foot. Okay. And I thought I was only going to need 4 buckets, but it looks like it's actually going to take 6 to 7 buckets as an end result. Thanks for being here, those that are here. And I'm not sure exactly how long I'm going to go live, but you definitely want to, let me turn the screen around. All right, on this, I'm working. This is not a showroom or a basement. I'm actually working, and so it looks like it. No hat. Anyways, so I swept this off halfway decent. Then I brought up a water hose with the pressure washer, water hose with the nozzle on it, and I sprayed the roof down. And then I took the room and I swept it off the water and let it dry. The next day I came up and started coating this roof. And like I said, that evening it rained. I stopped about 3 o'clock, 3:34, and then I came back in that night about, I don't know, 10 o'clock, 8 o'clock. It started raining, maybe 12 that night. I don't know exactly, but it rinsed a lot of it off. And again, while we're talking about it, I will show you one more time. Okay, you can see the thin spots here where it rinsed it. Okay. So second coating is, I got to treat it like it's the first coat, because it's just so thin. But not a bad thing in the bigger picture. Just a waste of material, which is not good. All right, so what else? I guess that's about it on that note. All right, so now I'm just going to continue to go around this edge and finish cutting it in. Because if you don't cut this in and you try to do it with a roller and you're in a hurry, you're going to push this coating over onto your fascia. It's going to run down your fascia. It's going to look ugly. You're going to be real upset because then you got to go back and scrape it off and repaint and cut it in first like I'm doing. Well, hey, thanks for being here. If you leave a comment, I'll know who's visiting. Hey, Mike, still playing your videos on Ranger 92308, the one we talked about. So, thanks for being here. Ranger has sleep streams. You might want to check Team Ranger out. And, yeah, check them out. Tell them, hey. So, that's what I'm doing. I guess I need to get back to it. But I thought I'd show this process, the prep process, because I'm sure there's probably not a lot of videos on this prep process. It's fairly simple. It's time extensive, labor intensive, extensive, but it's worth it. Pays off in the long run and the short run. All right, so let's go through this process again of how to get this edge. All right, I've also, sorry for the face shot, I have also, anything that's on the roof, I kind of chipped it off. There's a slight gouge on this roof, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with the gouge. Let me turn this around. Okay, there's the gouge, and it's going to take this and just fill it up. Is what I'm going to do. Make like a patch. There you go. I'm leaving it alone. All right, and that's how that was a gouge. So all this prep work makes for a solid roof when it's all finished coating, because if you coat it and you don't take the time to do the prep, fill in the joints with this rubber coating sealer, it's just gonna leak. So this prevents leakage, and it reduces your heating cost in the summertime, especially if you live in a desert or a hot climate. It definitely makes a difference. And as a waterproofing, perfect. But make sure you do your prep and fill in any gaps, any joints that are loose. Maybe go hit it a couple nails on top. Go over it with this real heavy, with this Elastomeric rubber sealer, and it'll make for a bulletproof, inexpensive repair to preserve your roof. And cost, this is inexpensive by comparison. This is a 4.75 gallon. I got it from Home Depot. They're close to $100. If you buy 8 of them, you get a discount. And so you need to take back what you don't need. So you can keep that in mind. So, all right, let's get to this. Again, thanks, Mike, for being here, bro. All right. Again, I'll show you what this looks like. It's by Henry's. They are the roofing leader in product. Okay, they say this will save you $4,800 a year in heating cost. Now this is a white. It comes white, but if you can tell, this is a light gray. Now my first video, this is a light gray. If you can tell, I used a black to tint it gray, and I'll show you what I used to tint it, make it gray. All right. Now, this is an acrylic base rubber, okay? And so I used this black acrylic paint to tint it with, okay? And I used about, I'll show you how much I used of this. Okay, you can see on the side of this, all right, from here, this much. Oh, I'm sorry, blocking the camera. Okay, so I've used this much to tint it, all right, about this much on the can. All right, like yay. And that'll give me 4 cans, that one jar, okay? So it's about a quarter, all right, per. And that's how I made it gray. You want it light gray, you don't want it dark, because the dark can absorb the heat. The light gray will act as like white, and it will reflect the heat. And this is a light gray, okay? Light gray. Might look white. Does this look gray or white to you there, Mike? Because I can't tell. If it looks white, the amount of black I put in here made it a light gray, which was a perfect amount. Okay. And this is the process. It's what I'm doing. Then I come back across and I finish it off and lay it in there. Okay. Light gray. Okay, great, because I can't tell. Thank you. Mike says he sees a light gray. That's perfect. It almost looks white, even when I'm looking at it now. But if it was white, it would definitely be white. But this came out perfect for what I'm doing. Now again, this is work like if you're in a wet climate like Washington, Oregon, where else? Canada. This is a great water roof sealer. Okay, you don't necessarily have to be concerned in those areas about the heat, but definitely to be water repellent and to waterproof your roof, this would work really great. You can see the difference. Okay, great. Because the can's white, you know. It's gray. Yeah, so like in Washington, Oregon, Canada, areas where it's cold, Alaska, those areas we would be concerned and more concerned about water repellent, waterproofing than they would the heat. That's not an issue there because it's wet, dampened. The summers are like 70 degrees, 72 or 3. It doesn't get real hot there in comparison to the desert or just California or places like that in general. New York, you know. So that's how that goes. So this is all I'm doing. Now next I'll be rolling, and when I roll it, I'll bring that roller like right into this area here and come across, and then when the roller is rolled off and I don't have all the coating on that roller, then I'll come back right up here to this edge at the end of rolling this section. Okay, and this whole entire from the front back will be completely covered with another layer, another coating. All right, and here has a light coat that I'm gonna go ahead and just finish off. Now the second coat obviously is going to go on better, smoother. Obviously it's not going to take as much, but more the better, really. Just depends on if you could afford to do 2 complete layers all over the roof. That would be even better. But you can go back over this later. By the way, your brother Ken, thumbs up. Thank you. By the way, your motivational speech helped Mike. The Rangers start back on January 1st. Well, that's great to know. That's appreciate that, brother. I try, you know, my pleasure. It's a blessing. Okay, there we are. Don't want any upside down videos. I have a few, don't like them. And that happens. But don't want them if I can help it. Not professional. Okay. This has taken a lot longer than what I thought it was going to take. And then the weather hasn't really been allowing for it. I got to start on the kitchen painting, the cabinets. Got to do the prep, finish the prepping on the cabinet doors for the kitchen. They're going to be enamel, water oil based enamel. I'm going to go over the walls and everything with the Kills oil base. Then I'll be able to spray the oil based enamel over it. That'll be the whole, all the kitchen walls and cabinets. They'll all be enamel that will, you'll be able to wash them down. Not wash them down, but wipe them off really easy with a little soap and water. That enamel will be nice on many levels. and pretty much custom for the most part. Okay. I've got a fairly good build up there, but I'm going to put another little more here. Okay, I went over this with some roofing tar. At this edge, it was a little loose, so I used roofing tar initially. But now I'm just going ahead and I'm just building this up here. And that way the water will kind of run off and kind of push it away and help to kind of add a little bit more gluing power for just for GP, not that it actually needs it, because that roofing tar will hold it just fine. Okay, and I put it underneath the trowel, right underneath this edge right here a little bit. That was the roofing tar initially. Okay, there's like a foot overlap here. Okay, but still 6 inches, I think a foot, I think it is, they did. All right, it's got this one here I haven't prepped yet. You can kind of see the roofing tar here out in front. Okay, and again I went back so far on this edge all the way across, and this kind of helps to push away the water when it does rain. It helps to give it more glue here on the edge. Okay, if there is any gaps that you're not seeing, it'll fill in any gaps here at the edge. But you should be fine even if there is gaps if you put the tar. I took a trowel and I stuck it underneath, and I lifted this up and I put that in there so I know it's in there and sealed. Okay. But this is just me going the extra mile to make sure it's done right. Like I say, take the time to do it right. You won't go wrong, and you'll be glad you took the time to do it. Okay, this will last for years to come, years. Not too many people are going the extra mile nowadays on what they do, and they're messing up, as far as I'm concerned. Messing up. All right, this is old school, unfortunately. It should be the norm nowadays. It's not the norm to go the extra mile. People want to take shortcuts left and right, and they're messing up. You know, they're making our cars to last 7 years before they start breaking down in general. They say even electric cars after 2 years or 200,000 miles, they're no good. But if you take care of them and you don't drive them hard and fast, you baby them, keep it around 60, 65, take off slow and easy, brake slow and easy, you can get 300,000-400,000 miles out of these electric cars. I have a friend that has one. That's how they drive. And okay, a friend taught me, got a job, big, my screen's big or small, do it right or not at all. Yes, exactly, Mike. Just hurt my left leg. One, go, ouch, take your time. If it's that knee joint, might want to wrap it with the Ace, soak in some Epsom salts, you know, that kind of thing. Okay. But yeah, Mike's right. You know, if you're not going to do it right, then don't do it. Because you'd be better off in the long run. It might get it done for right now. Might get it done for next few months. But you want it to last. You don't want it to break, fall apart later. That's for sure. There's been a few times I've got in a hurry. And I regret it every single time. It looks terrible to start with because you're in a hurry. And then it just doesn't hold up like it should. And it's not worth it. Really not. So, on my trailer, I put up some sideboards. And I was in a hurry that day. And they're just sideboards. Well, getting in a hurry, putting those sideboards on it, it looked terrible. It worked for a few trips to the dump. But now I gotta do them again because they're basically it's all come apart. It's all having issues. And I was just in a hurry and it looked terrible. Should have taken my time. I knew better. I'm the one saying it. But this goes to show. Proof is in the pudding. All right. Now I know when I go over this roof and I seal it with the topping over the top, it's going to be sealed. The joint's going to be solid. There won't be any kind of leakage. It'll last for years. Praying for you, brother. Oh, thank you, Mike. Thank you. You know, doing this, I'm just trying to help a friend here. It's a win-win. And this is Home Improvement Tips, aka Easy 2 Tips and Tricks. You see everything up close and personal. Here in the coming future, I may be helping out a friend. They've got some backsplash. They had their kitchen redone. And they wanted to do their own backsplash, learn how to tile. And I'm going to go walk them through it, and we'll be videotaping. This is a girl I grew up with, actually. And she just started a YouTube channel here recently. She built a greenhouse. I do have it on a short on my channel, where she built her own greenhouse and did the video. Then I did a remix. But maybe in a couple weeks, I'll be out there on a Saturday. Might be on the 6th of Saturday next month of January. Doing that project, and we'll be live. We'll be videotaping it, and she'll be videotaping it on her channel as well. And that'll be fun. And so keep that in mind. January 6th. It'll be in the afternoon. Maybe around 12, 1 o'clock, something like that. Maybe earlier, don't know yet. But just a heads up on that. Now I have a little bitty gouge right here, little bitty one. So I'm just going to hit that first. Alright, that way it gets the extra coating. It wasn't too bad. Maybe not even necessary to do that, but again, doesn't hurt. You can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong. Now remember, there's no viscosity here, and this is rough, like sandpaper. And this does not flow like paint to start with. I'm going to have to do a test on some wood using this like on the fascia. So I'm going to have to get a piece of wood and test that out on a piece of wood. Because if it will work on the fascia, then why not paint the fascia and waterproof your fascia? Oh, will it? You think so? Well, when did you see that? You put this on your fascia?
Yep. And I had to replace it within a month.
Okay, well, Joe MacGyver saying he's done that. And he has a channel, which is MacGyver. Or Joe MacGyver, I forget. Anyways, he says it lasted about a month and it peeled. Which is good to know. But I'm going to take a piece of wood. I'm going to put it on it. And do a test. And see what happens on my end. And that way I know myself personally. Because maybe, you know, maybe you need to mix something into this paint, into this rubber, so that it doesn't blister, you know. Maybe I can add something into it, an additive, to prevent that. I have a few ideas. Now, this way doesn't work because you got to get it right to this edge. See, and that would be a lot slower to go this way, and it's gonna higher risk of it running over, where you have more control by going this way and pull it off. See, now I'm pulling it off. All right, more control this way. At least that's my claim to fame. You can still run over the edge. You may want to have a rag with you if you're really particular about that. Wet rag, like you would with the paint if you were painting. Okay. Well, thanks again for being here, Mike. Looks like there's someone else who dropped in. All right, looks like my screen has enlarged. So let's reduce the size if I can get it to reduce. All right, just thought I'd show the scenery. Okay, now if I was painting, I would catch it here and I'd go along like this if I was painting, okay? And I'd spread this paint out like this, but that's going to take too much time. Okay, so I'm catching it this way. Then I'm going to go back across it, and that pushes it down into the grooves and the low spots, and all right, and fills it up. Now you may want to treat this like if you were painting, you could put tape here on the fascia, okay? And have to have it taped off too. If you wanted to take the time to do that. All right. And there'll be some that may. For me, that isn't that critical. Okay. But some people may want to go that far. And it doesn't hurt. Again, that doesn't hurt. What's that? Oh, use a straight edge. Maybe I can get you some clamps. You gonna work on that truck today? The girl's car, truck? Oh, okay. Well, if you had a couple clamps, you could use a straight edge, Joe. Or whatever you want to do. I can get you clamps. I can get you table saw.
I got one drawer built.
Hey, Kenneth, the Kentucky fan. Thanks for being here, bro. How we doing? Mike's here. He may have stepped away for a moment. You still here, Ken? I'm doing this roof. Doing the prep on the roof. Well, if you got a bunch of those drawers to cut out, your table saw would be the best.
I've only got one side.
Okay. Now, my other table saw is right there, though.
Yeah. I thought you were having a problem with it.
Well, if you're, well, and maybe, I mean, it doesn't have the off and on. You got to unplug it by the plug, and you know. Okay, well, I guess I don't need to just have dead space here on the video. I'll show you this. I have a video on sealing this here with the flashing, and this is how it's looking here from the top side. Alright, it seals really super well. That's going to be bulletproof and last for years and years and years and years. Okay. But I'm Ken. This is Home Improvement Tips. You see everything up and close and personal. Being on my channel is a win-win-win. Tell a friend, and as always, never give up, because there's always a way. Always. God bless. Take care. Bye for now. And keep looking up. Let's pray for this country and the world. Bye for now. Bye.